South Africa's national state of disaster ended at midnight, more than 2 years after being implemented to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic. And addressing the nation last night, President Cyril Ramphosa said that some restrictions would remain for a maximum of 30 days while new legislation is finalised by the National Health Department following public comment. Now, the three rules still in effect are the wearing of masks indoors, restrictions on gatherings, and the entry rules for travellers from abroad.
We have now entered a new phase in the COVID-19 pandemic.
South Africa is slowly going back to normal. All regulations made under the state of disaster are now repealed.
Cabinet has decided to terminate the national state of disaster.
South Africa has been under a nationwide lockdown for more than 750 days. Now COVID-19 restrictions are a thing of the past, with wearing of masks required only indoors.
While the pandemic is not over, and while the virus remains amongst us, these conditions no longer require that we remain in a national state of disaster.
The President says the introduction of the state of disaster and associated lockdown restrictions were necessary to manage the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now that South Africa is in a better state in dealing with the virus, going forward, the pandemic will be managed in terms of the National Health Act. The no-fault vaccination compensation scheme will also continue operating under the new changes.
There is one last measure that will outlive or remain and outlive the national state of disaster. This is the COVID-19 vaccine injury no-fault compensation scheme. This scheme was brought into force in April last year to provide quick and easy access to compensation to any person who, after being vaccinated, suffers serious injury because of receiving a COVID-19 vaccine.
The President also announced that the coronavirus alert levels will no longer apply. He also urged South Africans to take individual responsibility for their safety by vaccinating and encouraging friends and family to do the same. Ntlanhla Khatlhane, SABC News, Johannesburg.